Hi guys, happy Tuesday, Chef Kevin Belton here. Now, if you know me, you know I love a potato. And this recipe, to tell you the truth, I don't know what to call it. I'm not sure if I want to call it the big stuffed potato, the ultimate stuffed potato, the great big flavorful potato, but I tell you what, it's all of that, okay? Because what I'm gonna do, we're gonna bake our potatoes, we're gonna wrap them in bacon first. Oh, let's just get to it. Let me show you what I'm gonna do first, okay? I've washed our potatoes and I've dried them. Now I'm gonna take a knife and just all around, you can do this with a fork. Just kind of give your potatoes a nice little poke. You do this so as the potato bakes, the steam comes out of it, okay? This just releases a little steam out of it. And you know, instead of using a knife, you can do this, like I said, with a fork. I'm using a knife just because I have it here. Because what I want to do, I want to cut the ends off our potatoes. Now, I'm going to cut the ends off the bigger side because I want them to be able to stand up. That's why I'm trimming off the ends. Now, since I've done that, let's go ahead and poke a little bit at the top. All right, there we go. So now, notice I have some really thick cut bacon here. Now you can use a thinner bacon, but I love the thick cut, and starting from the bottom, I'm just gonna wrap it around, use a toothpick to hold it on. I'll take another piece, get that wrapped around, and if you notice that little piece poking at the top, that's okay. Because what we're gonna do, we're gonna bake our potatoes, then I'm gonna cut off the tops and scoop that top out. Now, I am using, like I said, a really thick cut bacon, all right? You could use a thinner cut bacon, you know, use whatever you have, all right? But I like the thick cut bacon because it's just so much flavor. And I think with the potatoes, the meat to potato ratio is really good. All right, let's get this last one done. And then as a surprise, oh, wait till you see what I'm gonna do with this. Come on, it's getting there. All right, let me get one little toothpick here. I am going to brush these with honey. Now you notice I have some bacon left over, okay? Depending on how big your potatoes are, depending on, you know, the size, how much bacon you're gonna use, okay? I just decided to do the thick cut, and these potatoes, I only needed 2 pieces on each, but you could do 3 if you want, but want these tops open. And now, before I put them in the pan, I'm gonna brush them with a little honey, just to give this bacon a nice sweetness as it bakes. You know, we're gonna do some savory things on the inside, but I want you to see how I like sweet and savory. You know, everyone doesn't like it. If you want to do this without the honey, you can, all right? I just like the honey because it gives it a nice sweetness with that savory bacon. Now, I have the oven preheating 400 degrees. These are gonna be in the oven anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour. Basically, we wanna cook them long enough to where they're fork tender inside. Now, of course, if you use a bacon that's a little thinner cut, your bacon may really get crispy, okay? But that's all right because we're gonna scoop the middle out and that bacon will hold that potato together. So let's get these in the oven, and when we come back, next time you see me, our potatoes will be done, and I'll show you what we're putting inside those potatoes. So we'll see in a little bit. Our potatoes, they're out of the oven, and I tell you what, they look so good. Now I had to let them cool for a few minutes because we don't want to handle a hot potato. Hot, get it? Handle a hot potato. Las la patat. That's what that means. Now, look what I have. I have some softened cream cheese. I also have some shredded cheddar cheese. Now, I like to shred my cheese myself, especially I love getting a block of cheese and then shredding it yourself, okay? But if you want to use pre-shredded, that's fine. Now, to get this done, you can use a mixer if you want. But notice I'm just using this wooden spoon, and we just want to get this mixed well. But look what else is going in here, okay? I have parsley and green onion, all right? Now, if you want, you could use some cilantro. I'm gonna save a little bit for garnishing at the end. I also have, for a little bit of a bite, I have jalapeno and I have garlic. All right, that's 1 jalapeno. And you know, normally this recipe calls for, I decided to do the recipe with 3 cloves of garlic, but I tell you what, in this one, Monica loves garlic, and I love garlic as well. So I had about 3 cloves of garlic in there. Now you see, I had this room temperature, and you see the reason why we want to take our time and get this at room temperature is so that we can get all of that mixed in. We just want all of this mixed in really good. All right. And like I said, if you want to use a mixer to do this, you can. The other thing I want to get in, let me move this out of the way, is a little bit of Creole seasoning. Now, I haven't put any salt in, all right? But we're going to get a little salt from that bacon around the potato. But let's get a little Creole seasoning in. And this is just about ready, all right? And of course, you can always taste this, gang. All right, however you like. So now this is ready. Let's show you what I'm gonna do with this. So like I said, we have to let the potatoes cool a little bit. What we're gonna do with our potatoes, we're just gonna knock the tops off. We just wanna cut the tops off right quick, all right? And that's why we wanted to just snip that bottom side, that wider side. Now, you can use a spoon. I'm gonna use a melon baller. And basically, all you want to do is scoop out the inside of that potato, okay? If you don't have a melon baller and you want to use a teaspoon, that's fine. But I love a melon baller for things like this. Now, if you're worried about nicking the sides of the potato, don't worry about it too much, because guess what? That's why we have that bacon on. That bacon is going to hold that side of that potato together really good, all right? Let me get one more little scoop out. And you know, our toothpicks that are holding our bacon on, you know, you might bump into them, but that's all right. But look at that. Peek down in there, all right? Now we have a nice little cavity. So now we can take some of our mixture and just stuff it down in. And just stuff it down in real tight. You know, some folks will take a Ziploc bag, put this in it, cut off the corner, and make like a pastry bag out of it to squeeze this in. Whatever you want, that's fine, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead, scoop out the rest of these, get these others filled, and then we're gonna put them back in the oven for just a little bit for that cheese on top to melt. So we'll see you in a little bit. Look, guys, I've gotten the potatoes scooped out. I've got the smear, what Monica calls a smear, inside. I put some cheese on top. And if you wonder what happened to the inside of those potatoes, look in the bowl, all right? Those are all the potatoes I scooped out. Monica put a little bit of the cheese mixture on top. We'll put some more shredded cheese on top of this. And this is gonna be her lunch. So I'll heat this up for her. But in the meantime, I've turned the oven down to 375. Now we started with it at 400, okay? I've turned it down just a little bit to 375. We want this to heat up all the way through, and so it gets warm and gooey on the inside. Plus we want this cheese on the top to melt. So I'm gonna get these in the oven. I figure I'll put these in the oven for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And when they come out, I can't wait for you to see how they look, especially on the inside. It's time. They're ready. Oh, look at this. Looky, 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 looky. Look how it just piled up over the sides. And you know, there's no right way or wrong way of how much stuffing you put on the inside. But I did one earlier, and I want you to look at this. This is what it looks like cut open. Now you notice I didn't scoop too far down at the bottom, but you can go further down if you want. So here we can do, look, get a little sour cream. We could put a little sour cream on each side. Oh, look at that. Maybe a little more cheddar cheese, a little more onion and parsley, just to garnish it. And you know, if you like that savory and sweet, we brushed the bacon with a little honey. If you want, just take a little bit of honey and just let it drizzle right over the top. That way you get that savor, you get that sweet. We got that little bit of seasoning, the Creole seasoning that we season them filling with. So I tell you what, gang, for our potato, which I love, love, love potatoes. Now, I did this today with russet potatoes. I often use the golden Yukon potatoes, okay, because they're very soft on the inside. So you could do it with that if you want. So try any potato that you like. Get that inside scooped out. If you use a melon ball, if you use a spoon, it doesn't matter. Just get it done. I tell you what, I think this is a recipe that you're really, really, really gonna like. All right, so here's our ultimate potato. Make it your way, because I sure did it the way we like it. All right, keep washing those hands, keep masking up, and stay safe. For WWR, I'm Chef Kevin Belton. Have yourself a fantastic afternoon. We'll see you soon.